excited to be here. I posted on my timeline this morning. I said, I'm excited to talk to the Pinoy Catholic youth. Please pray for me. And you know why I'm excited? Well, I realize that there are non-Filipinos in the audience. I apologize because I tend to slide into Taglish from time to time. But you know why I'm so excited talking to the Filipino youth? Because I believe that you are the hope of this country. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? Palapakan nyo naman ang sarili nyo. Sabi nga ni Gat Jose Rizal, ang kabataan, ang pag-asa ng bayan. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? Tingnan nyo nga yung katabi nyo. Mukha bang may pag-asa pa yan? Ginigising ko lang kayo. But really, you know, I was once a youth myself. 40 years ago, I entered high school. I was so naive. I was fresh from elementary. It was my first exposure to the world. And you know what happened? Martial law was declared. And you know, during that time, ito yung mga itsura na nangyayari nung panahon na yun. This was the height of activism at the time. And I was a first-year high school student, tapos kakatukin kami doon sa kwarto, hahakutin kami. Eh, siyempre, tuwa naman kami kasi wala kaming klase. And then we would go all the way to the fourth floor, and alam niyo kung anong ginagawa namin? We would paint on those newspapers yung mga nilalagay sa mga wall na hindi namin naintindihan kung ano man yung mga pinagsasabi namin doon sa yun. But this was the kind of activism that was happening at the time. Nowadays, merong bagong sinasabi silang kind of activism. In fact, they call it online social activism. Kaya lang minsan medyo parang negative. That it is initially negative. Okay? Some people call it slacktivism. Why? Kasi sabi nila, slacktivist to be slacktivist is doing something in support of an issue or cause that requires minimal personal effort. Hindi ka naman kailangan pumunta doon sa kalye, hindi ka kailangan magsisigaw doon, di ba? You know, punta ka lang sa online, di ba? Click-click ka lang, o sabit-sabit ka lang, share-share ka lang. So, they're saying that this kind of activism is something that's lazy. But let's look at the definitions. Sabi, when we talk of clicktivism, it's the use of social media and other online methods to promote a cause. So it's not that bad. And in fact, it's a collective action using the new tools that challenges existing institutions by eroding the institutional monopoly on large-scale coordination. This is by Clay Shirky from his book, Here Comes Everybody. But there are certain rants against clicktivism. Ano sabi nila? Well, sabi nila, this one, it uncritically embraces the ideology of marketing. Okay? Kumbaga, ano yung ginagawa mo? You know, monitoring those clicks, finding out which works, which does not. Okay? It's the same technology that they're using to monitor the way that certain online petitions are being done, etc. So they say that the kind of activism that clicktivism promotes accept the tactics of advertising and market research. That is the same that is used to sell toilet paper. But now they're saying that, well, it can also build social movements. Digital activists hide behind gloried stories of viral campaigns, okay, and inflated figures. And in fact, in general, they're saying that it is largely a marketing deception. Online activism or clicktivism is simply lazy. But do you believe that? You know, I think this summit is out to disprove that. This summit is out to prove that this is wrong. There is value to clicktivism, especially in the area of evangelization. In fact, I believe na kaya kanina, hirap na hirap akong pumunta dito because there is a message that has to be said. Okay? Alam nyo, ang Diyos, wala namang aksidente nangyayari dito sa mundo. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? There is not an accident that happens in this world. The reason that you are here because there is a purpose for you to be here. I am here because there is also a purpose for me to be here. Walang aksidente sa mundo. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? Sige nga, taas nyo nga yung kanang kamay nyo. Raise your right hand and tap the person on your right and say, kaibigan, hindi aksidente na nandito ka ngayon. Ayan. Raise your left hand and tap the person on your left and say, oo nga, Mas mukha ka pang na-aksidente kesa sa akin. No, no. Joke lang. Pinapatawa ko lang kayo. Baka kasi naantok na kayo. So, there are raves for clicktivism on the other hand. Why? Well, we're saying that technology allows activists now to share the world around them. And we are able to now broadcast to a larger audience. Imagine that, di ba? With a minimum effort, we can actually reach larger audiences. Di ba? Napakahirap yata yung magtawag ka ng rally sa Menjola o rally sa Ayala, di ba? But now with social media, you have quick and easy ways to support an organization or a cause. And it is the use of digital media which is now facilitating social change. There are a range of activities that can happen using clicktivism. One is organizing protests, as we've seen in Egypt in 2011. It can facilitate boycotts, signing petitions, even hacktivism, okay? Which was what Google did to circumvent censorship of Twitter in Egypt. Crowdfunding, okay? Where people are able to share minimal resources, $25, $5, but it is pulled together to do larger causes or to support larger causes or circumventing news blackouts, okay? So maraming pwedeng mangyari in online activism. In fact, there are some positive examples that have happened. A father avenged his daughter's wrongful death, okay, with a powerful online tool. This happened in, check ko lang yung aking notes ha. You know, at my age, I have difficulty memorizing my talk. Okay, it happened in, well, it's in the US, okay? And also a teenager who helped kill a law that was a threat to the environment. This was in Chicago. David G. Brooklyn of New York forced the White House to talk about gun control. Tech-savvy activists actually get millions of dollars to people desperately in need, guerrilla style. And then 4 regular guys started an online watch store that literally helped change the world. This is Indiegogo. And, of course, you log into Facebook or Twitter, and you shared a link, and it made all the difference. So there is really value to social activism. And what with all the technology out there, di ba? Kilala nyo ba lahat yung mga icons na yan? Ilan dyan ang meron kayo? Di ba? Paramihan, ano? Ilan kaya meron akong account dyan? You know, in 2005, Thomas Friedman wrote a book. He said, the world is flat. Di ba? Kasi you can reach anybody, anytime, anywhere now. Di ba? With minimum effort, at practically no cost. It doesn't cost anything more to send an email, to do Skype, to do Viber, to do all of this online chat. Okay? Minsan may video pa, di ba? So, all of these things point to the fact that there is really value in clicktivism. But we're just talking of the internet. On top of that, there is mobile, di ba? In fact, mobile has been something that the Filipinos has adapted to very successfully. Sabi nga nila, we're the texting capital of the world. Okay? I think it is estimated that about 400 million text messages are sent from the Philippines, in the Philippines. Okay? Every day. Ay, tama ba? And about 60% of those are K. Mahal na letter nun, ano? One time nga, nabasa ko no? Ganun ka, ang mga Pilipino sa texting, no? Ganun tayo parang ka-addict na sa texting. Sabi dun sa balita, naglalakad, nagte-text, nahulog sa imburnal, namatay. Kumakain, nagte-text, nabilaukan, namatay. Tumatawid, nagte-text, nasa gasaan, namatay. And then the fourth one said, nagte-text, walang makatext, nagpakamatay. That's how dear to us this technology is, di ba? Pag maiwanan mo nga yung cellphone mo, di ba? Karamihan sa atin, palagi ko babalikan nyo di ba? No? Meron nga akong kaibigan, 2 pa yung cellphone. Sabi ko, ano ba 2 cellphone mo? Tinetext daw niya yung sarili niya pag wala siyang makausap. Now, it is not surprising that the evolution of the internet could be anything but social. You know, I teach IT, and I tell my students, You know, the evolution of technology has always been dictated by human behavior and human interaction. And it is social. Example, no? Nag-umpisa yung computer, simple machines. And then, nagkaroon ng mga malalaking mainframe. But this is what you need to understand about the mainframe. Yung mainframe, isang malaking-malaking computer yon, tapos may mga nakakabit na terminals. Okay. But what was the next paradigm that was invented? Aba, personal computing. It was like they cut that umbilical cord from the mainframe, and it was freedom for people. Wow, sabi na, I can now compute on my own, di ba? Hindi na ako kailangan umasa dun sa mainframe. Okay? But you know what happened? Something funny happened along the way. The next paradigm in computing was, guess what? Ano sa palagay nyo? Network computing. After cutting the umbilical cord from the mainframe and having it personal, after a while, pinagdugtong-dugtong na naman nila ulit. Bakit? Na-realize nila, malungkot palang mag-isa. Diba? Yung nagawa ko, ako lang ang nakakaalam, walang iba nakakakita. Diba? But that's human. That's who we are as a person. Okay? Of course, eventually, what evolved into social media, okay, is the internet that we know of. Okay? Eh, merong iba, hindi naman naka-move on mula sa, mahirap din kasi mag-shift sa technology. No? Sino sa inyo dito nakagamit ng typewriter? Alam nyo ba yung mga nasanay sa typewriter? Nung unang gumamit ng computer, ganito ang nangyari. It's amazing how fast the internet was adopted. It took only 4 years for the internet to reach 50 million users. And, you know, kung pangilan tayo sa Facebook, hindi naman one, sobra. All of these are heavily populated countries, ha? Okay? So, hindi katakataka na nandyan sila. But imagine a country like the Philippines with only 100 million people is number 8. And we're followed by France and Germany. Okay? But sorry, hulaan nyo. Sino mas marami, babae o lalaki? Babae, yes. 50% are female. O baka naman maraming lalaki na nagpapanggap na babae. Demographics, it's interesting. Take note of this. 18 to 24 years old, 39.1%. 25 to 34, 26.4%. So, ang sabi, there are 36.2 million Filipinos on Facebook. So yung demographics, that demographics alone comprises 65.5% or 23 million Filipinos. Now, pag sinama mo pa itong 13 to 44, okay, that would go up to 91.9%. Imagine, 33 million Filipinos are on Facebook. So ganyang katindi ang Pilipinas sa Facebook. Now, this is an example of how positive clicktivism can be. Okay? In 2010, let me just check my notes, Jay Haboneta, founder of Yellow Boat of Hope Foundation, created an online post that translated into real-life fundraising in action. While visiting the Philippines, Haboneta learned about elementary school students from an island community who could only attend school if they swam to the mainland. Sabi niya, I had heard of kids skipping school to go swimming, but swimming to get to school? Outraged, he took to Facebook and shared the children's story online. Quickly, friends commented, and they helped. By spreading the word through social media, he raised enough money to buy a boat to transport the children to and from school safely. So merong value talaga, di ba? If we just know how to use it properly. And of course, recently we had the Philippine Conference on New Evangelization. As Catholics, especially the young people, we have the opportunity now, okay, nakikiyang, we have the opportunity now to reach out and do evangelization work using this new media. No? As the song during the PCNE said, let his life tell the story, love that conquers sin and shame. Come and see, share the mystery. Now it's our mission to reveal to all His face. Napakaraming nangyayari sa internet. In 1 minute, 60 seconds, these are the things that can happen. 2 million searches on Google, 72 hours of video uploaded, 204 million emails sent. Okay? Imagine, di ba? Napakadaling magsayang ng oras sa internet. Bakit hindi natin bigyan ng konting oras to do something that is positive, to do something that will support our evangelization work. This is a survey. Imagine, 98% of people sent or received emails. Ito yung pinaka-top na activity na ginagawa sa internet. 92% shopped online. Okay? 91% used a search engine, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, napakadaling mag-aksaya ng oras, di ba, sa Facebook. But why don't we spend our time, okay, doing something that would help in our work of evangelization? Lalo na ngayon, napakaraming addiction na kumakalat sa Pilipinas, di ba? Merong isang addiction ngayon, mas matindi pa sa droga. Alam niyo ba kung ano addiction 'yun? Taas niyo nga yung kaliwang kamay niyo. Tapikin niyo yung nasa kaliwa niyo. Sabihin niyo, kapatid, huwag kang magpapa-addict sa Candy Crush. Yan. Taas niyo yung kanan. Tap the person on your right. Sabihin niyo, oo naman. Anong level ka na? What can we do? Well, you can support. If there are positive values out there, pages, groups, or whatever, be a member of it. Post. Okay? You can spread using likes and retweets. You can also start your own groups, pages. There are online petition sites like change.org and avas.org. This one, okay? O, sabi nga dito, anong babaguhin mo? And this one, Avas, there's an ongoing petition there called Stand with the Philippines. This is an opportunity for us to do something great with the technology that is at hand. You know, last night I had a household I had a prayer meeting with young people, and I was telling them, you know why we are so devastated with what has happened? Okay? It's because our vision of heaven is not as strong as we would want it to be. Kasi kung kumalinaw lang sa atin kung ano yung langit, di ba? Hindi tayo mararatel hindi tayo matataranta, di ba? Kung kahit makita natin yung mga patay, sabi ng Diyos, those are just bodies. I have gathered their souls, and I'll take care of them. Our role in history at this time is only just a tiny, tiny part of human history. But God has been there all throughout. He knows what He is doing. All we need to do is have faith. And you as young people have the opportunity to now use these new tools of evangelization. And there are two things that you need to do. Because we should work to make God's kingdom come and His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Maraming salamat po.
Mm-hmm.